is that so now we're actually being my whole stream and everything is now being picked up just through Discord, and before it was being picked up directly, so there was no middleman between. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if it sounds weird, it might be a Discord thing. I don't know. Does it still sound weird, or are we good now?
No, for some reason I just kind of whoa double miking. I think what happened is when I was trying to mute your stream before I went live for whatever reason. You know how sometimes the cursor, when you click on something, it hangs up and it tends to hang up on like a volume control.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's pretty much what happened because all of a sudden you were at like 200%.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, that's probably the issue.
Also, that's weird. My latest subscriber is not showing up anymore.
I like how you still have the counter up there, asshole.
Hey, I changed it. I just don't change it when I log off. I change it when I log in. And it was at 2.5 from last time, and now we're at 0. Don't worry. But anyway, Mr. Horn, how are you today?
Always good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, this will be my last podcast for until probably the 25th
of what, August?
Yeah, of August.
Wow, so you're going to be gone for an entire month? No podcasts?
Yep. No podcast. The abridged reason why is Joe's family is coming down. Now, if it was just like one component of the family, I'd stay. But Joe only has like one extra bathroom throughout the house, and I'm, the only other person living here. So when I have to share that bathroom with, all of his family that's coming in, I'm like, no, fuck that. One of them can have my bed. Just change the sheets. I'll go visit the folks for a couple weeks and I'll figure out what to do. So, and I've done this before. I think it was not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. Pretty much the same thing, but it was only for 2 weeks.
All right.
So.
Wow, everything got screwed up here. My sample goal says 36.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, wow, you got some low standards, man.
Well, not really. I've got 73,210 days to go to hit 48
my standard.
48
my
whatever.
Standards were low, and I went to your YouTube channel.
I have no idea what's going on with it. I'm not even watching myself on YouTube. I should probably do that.
Let me make a correction there. I kind of have to have standards to have low ones.
Okay, that is fair. Am I on the right account? No, I'm not. Why is... Oh, right, because she was using my laptop.
You're on the wrong account going live?
No.
No, doesn't look like it.
No, my laptop is signed into the wrong account. So whenever someone comes over and needs a computer, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Just use my laptop. Because it's the easiest thing to do, right? I mean, like, it's a really good laptop. So why wouldn't I just let them use it? I mean,
that makes sense.
It's an i9 Alienware laptop with a 2070 RTX in it. With 36 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of hard drive space.
Damn.
So it's kind of a beast of a laptop. And of course, go ahead.
I'm gonna reload the avatars because they are lagging so hard. Your raid fucked them over.
Well, yeah, they're just not used to it. But yeah, if you look, like, all the keys are like a different color. I know that's all blurry, but the dark blue across the top are going to be your numbers, and then the WASD for Missa, when she was learning how to play WoW, I changed to another color, like a greenish. So now she knows, she knew where to. Ooh, what the hell was that?
Yeah, it's hanging up hard right now. uh, but yeah, so that's my shit going on for the next week,
All right.
so, or next month. And actually, I don't know if people can see it, but I have my laptop on my bed. I'm basically just wiping that, getting it ready to go, so that way I can at least be somewhat productive. And you're gonna be happy to hear this.
Uh-oh, what'd I do?
Everything. You're the bane of my existence.
No. Maybe, but probably not. Okay, go ahead. What am I gonna be happy to hear?
So what I'm gonna do? Whoa, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a reaction video of guess what?
Watching the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yep.
You brought it up. I'm giving you a point.
That's fine. I'll take that fucking point. I'll take that fucking point. But oh shit. Check with the knife. I was very confused. Didn't see Doc live on Twitch. You know what?
So Missa, I'm starting the thing of not using Twitch to do the podcast so that one, we're shoving more people over to Darren. Two, we are no longer going to be breaking terms of service for Twitch on the affiliate side of things, because I plan on growing a little bit over the next couple of weeks, and then
plus Twitch tends to pay better on the viewership and the affiliate side than YouTube does.
And then three, this is also going to help in the long run about just keeping those freaking numbers up in general, because as we all know, Twitch is nothing more than just a freaking numbers game.
But yeah, so I thought about it today, and I'm like, I'm sick and tired of, like, namely you, but I know Weapon did as well.
Wow!
Just fucking shitting on me for being an expert at Mortal Kombat and its fucking lore, and then shitting on me for not only being right about the film, but not having fucking seen it. So I'm like, why don't I just do a reaction video where I just dissect the shit out of it?
Again, you're right. I am 100% okay with this.
So, it'll be like I've had crash courses with what's it called? Oh, stream avatars. What are you doing blocking my stream?
There we go.
There we go.
All right, my goal is set up now, guys, and that is for YouTube subscribers. All right, I know that it's a little weird, but that is for YouTube subscribers. Oh, that is why the sub is not up there anymore, because Lennon, I believe, was the last person to subscribe to me on YouTube. There's no such thing as a paid subscriber on YouTube.
No.
So you guys all get to just deal with me while I fix this stuff, but this is all going to work out.
But anyway, I thought it'd be interesting. Like, I've had crash courses with Adobe Premiere on video editing. This will be a real one because I'm going to try and make this like nice and polished.
Okay.
And try and use some like visual aids. Be like, all right, if they did it this way, here's what you can introduce, and insert some graphics here or whatever. So, but yeah, I thought about doing that, and I'm like, I might do that just to shut everybody the fuck up.
I'm okay with this. By the way, you don't have to not do your podcast, because you can do it from your phone.
I'm not installing or doing that from my phone. This is not happening.
No, literally, all you do is you run it off of Twitch. It's the only time that I've ever used Twitch, but you open up the Twitch app and just go live.
I don't know what part of I'm not streaming from my phone wasn't clear enough.
Wow.
So I will not be. The only thing I will be streaming is I will continue to do shrubs and dubs, but there's going to be no webcam or anything. I don't even know how that's going to work with group chat, like on Teams. So we'll find out. And I don't. But that's if I take my PS4 with me. So I don't even know if I'm going to do that.
But doesn't your dad have a PS5?
It does.
Fuck it, play on your dad's account while you're over there.
That means I have to set up mouse and keyboard on it, and I still have that conundrum just to figure out for him. Because he's playing on controller. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, as you very well know. I was trying to help him out a couple days, and I'm like, Dad, stop looking up. What? I can't see anybody. Like, Dad, it's cool that you want to get into this shit, but if you're gonna get into it, you better listen to me. And I tried to tell him controller, because he too is used to the mouse keyboard. So, and this is his first time playing Call of Duty on a console.
Which is, well, I mean, that's kind of weird. What was he playing? The older Call of Duties just once they went to Steam, or what?
Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Yeah, like we were talking about the other day in the car, up until Black Ops 4 came out, I had only ever played Call of Duty on console, be it PS1, PS2, PS3, or PS4. All the way back to, you know, Modern Warfare, I think it was like 2 or 3 on PS2. And you know, it always worked out. And, you know, I played Halo on that. I mean, shit, it goes all the way back to the days of GoldenEye. Was my real first interaction with first person shooters, as far as you know, the controllers go, you know, on anything really. And to this day, I still think that Nintendo 64 had it right. Why am I?
I'll go.
Oh. I'm about to say, you're like giving me a weird look. Like you're looking straight into the camera.
No, so Fudge has a tendency to bark at any slight wisp of wind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my dogs just bark at everything, so...
Yeah, I just figured out what's fucking up the stream avatars too. It's Twitch Studio Beta, so...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I still haven't set up a podcast thing in Streamlabs, so... But so we're getting into the quasi-politics side.
Uh-oh, what happened?
So LA County, we already know, went back to the indoor mask mandate. Surprise,
right.
Surprise.
All right, go ahead, because I actually talked to somebody today about that I think you'll find interesting, that I talked to this person because of just where my job was. But go ahead and do your thing, because yeah, I just think you're going to enjoy this.
It's pretty short and sweet. So Ventura County is now making the suggestion of going back to the indoor mask mandate. They still have not made it a requirement.
Okay.
And then you have the Texas Dems that fled Texas amidst the voting of the, I guess it was the voter ID thing.
Yes.
They decided to like jump get off the ship, and they fled to fucking DC.
Yep.
And which was moot because Evil Skull 86, what's up, man? And I guess they fled to DC for whatever fuck reason, just to try and like stalemate the vote, which didn't matter anyway because they needed at least 31 people present. They had 31 people, and they still passed the fucking law. So it was stupid.
The governor of Texas has actually said, I should arrest every single one of you as soon as you step foot back onto Texan soil.
It's a question of whether or not he has the...
He does.
Whether or not, right. It's a question of whether or not he has the legal authority to commit the sergeant of arms to actually formally arrest the Democrats, and if they even return to their post. But apparently they all caught COVID. And in doing so, infected, I guess, a White House aide, or an aide, some people in the White House, and then an aide to Nancy Pelosi. And I'm like, Wait,
let me get this straight. So the people that have been wanting to wear masks and that have been pro-lockdown and all this other stuff flee the state against good faith and against any kind of like general idea of what a good thing would be. Are you DCing or are you just keeping the same face? I can't tell. I think he's DC. He kept that face for a while. Discord crash number 1. All right. That face, though, it makes it look like, you know, that's what he was. Anyway, guys. My big thing is that I don't actually know if they can still hear me. Well, I guess they can if Discord crashes. I think I'm just here talking to myself whenever your Discord crashes.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so go ahead.
What's funny is when I see your stream, it's like you're still going.
Yeah,
I'm just like a freeze frame.
All right, so
all right, what do you know?
So these are the people, the Democrats, that have been pro-lockdown, that have been pro-mask, that have been pro-shutting everything down, not going anywhere, blah, 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 right? Pro-vaccines, I mean, I'm already vaccinated, whatever. But then they leave the state, they were taking pictures on the flight, not wearing their masks, just kind of hanging out, doing whatever. They go to a place, and then they infect a person that is an aide to the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Is that what it was? Because I don't know if it was like a White House aide or an aide to the Speaker.
Well, Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't know if it was a White House aide, like internally within the White House, separately from the Speaker.
I don't know. That's the first that I've heard about the whole COVID thing. But there actually is a provision set in there that if they do not show up, that they are that they can actually have a warrant put out for them for them to be brought back to the thing, which is why they fled to DC.
So it's a question of whether or not if they I don't know if they've came back to Texas or not, but let's say they didn't. If they stayed in DC, yes, the Texas governor can issue a warrant out, and that warrant is only effective if A, they don't set foot back in Texas, or B, DC chooses to extradite them, which means the governor of DC would be able to arrest them there and then extradite them back to Texas. It's a question of whether or not they do that.
Well, if they can't come back, then wouldn't they all lose their positions without being able to actually...
There is a thing called job abandonment, and I don't know how it applies to elected officials, but quintessentially, yes. And then they would basically just go through a whole nother election. So, I just thought it was interesting, and I'm like, supposedly infecting people in the White House in 2021. That's not timely at all coming towards 2022.
Oh, here's the funny thing is that, so they do this, right? And they're the people that are also trying to get rid of the filibuster, right? Because they're like, a minority shouldn't have this much ability to do these things and hold things up and blah, 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 but we're just going to like say, fuck all you on the taxpayer dollar and take off.
Yep. And that, to the Democrats' credit, that is their one main goal going into, I believe, November. They have to end the filibuster before November.
But they won't.
Like this year.
Because...
Again, I'm not saying whether or not they will or they won't. I'm saying that is their goal. They need to end it before November, because in the span of time between now and November, if they happen to eliminate it, they can reinstitute it at any time they want. But let's say they do get rid of it, they will be unleashed in being able to impose any kind of will or law that they want.
So it's
by getting rid of the filibuster, the opposing side, the minority, in this case the Republicans, they have a standing fight and everything. And the filibuster does level the playing field a little bit for the minority.
All right, so it actually says governor vows to arrest Democrats who fled Texas to block voting restrictions.
Yeah, which didn't matter that they left anyway, because they were already outnumbered. Without all of them, they were still able to not only have the vote but pass it as well. So it didn't fucking matter. It's like, why? What was your goal and all that?
As soon as they come back to the state of Texas, they will be arrested. They will be...
Okay. So they haven't come back yet.
They will be cabined inside Texas Capitol until they get their jobs done, Abbott says. To cross county exodus with the second time the definite blah 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 blah. Let's find where it is. Because there was actually a So that's from The Guardian. From Newsweek, Texas House Democrats say Abbott has no authority to arrest fleeing lawmakers.
Frankly, I don't give a fuck what a news media says. I give a fuck what the regulations.
I've not committed a crime, so I can't get arrested. The most that could happen is I could be detained. State Representative Jasmine Crockett told CNN's Newsday on Tuesday.
Again, all it comes down to is Texas regulations and what level of authority the governor and the sergeant at arms has in terms of elected officials abandoning the post. So, because guess what? It happens in the Senate and Congress all the fucking time. So.
Yeah, but happening in the Senate and Congress is something totally different because they can technically go back to where they are, like where they're needed, and say, hey, they needed me and whatever. And as much as it is their duty to perform things at the federal level, they are not so much the senators, but the representatives, they are kind of tied down to the areas that they represent. And it is
so your argument there is that those in Congress and Senate, if they bail on a particular vote on something, as long as the purpose in which they left is legitimate, then they're fine.
Yes.
Okay. So what if those Texas Dems fled to DC to possibly negotiate for more appropriation funding for, say, the border or social reforms? They just haven't disclosed that yet.
Though here's the problem. They are taking a federal thing and they are superseding their actual thing of representing the people that elected them. So so you can go from something larger to something smaller because you are not representing the United States. You are representing this county of Texas, this area of Texas.
Correct, but where does appropriation funding come from? Even at a state level.
That's fine. Like it's cool that whole thing is going on, and yes, if they want to, they can. But a state issue has come up, and they literally. I guess it would be okay if they hadn't all actually said. Like one of the Democrats actually even put out on Twitter, "Looks like this is my first meal as a fugitive." So they recognize exactly what they were doing.
Right.
So,
again, I'm not justifying their actions. What I'm saying is, for those that abandon a legal procedure such as a vote, if they have the authority to, if they have the ability to be arrested for that stunt, basically at that level, they have the ability to be arrested at a congressional or a Senate level. It's just the lane of authority shifts from a governor level to, say, a presidential level. It's a question of whether or not they actually have the authority to arrest them. And I don't care what any news media organization says. I always want to look at the regulation, what it says. So that's my only question about that. What was your friend about the mask thing? Not
a friend. So the place I happened to go and do work at today was the 805 brewery in Marina Del Rey. And so everyone, at least out in this area, everyone knows what 805 is. Like, it's a pretty prominent thing out in this general area. And so talking to the owner of 805, I thought you crashed again. But talking to the guy that was in charge of this whole thing and listening to it, I don't actually know if he was the owner, if he was the manager. I don't want to, throw random titles around, but he was the guy that was in charge while I was there. And everyone seemed to be asking him what to do during things because they were about to open for the day. So, might have just been a manager, GM, whatever. But anyway. And he's talking about, the whole mask thing and everything else. And he was actually like, yeah, it was great. I just thought about yesterday or the day before this stuff came out. It's like, it's been so long since I hadn't had to wear a mask. And then he gets hit with this whole thing. And he's just like, I'm almost ready to just take the fine or whatever it's going to be to not make my patrons wear a mask from the front door to the fucking table.
Well, that's what happened with Borderline and several other establishments. I think Cronies was another one where they hit the fuck it button. They're like, we'd rather take the fine than the loss of business.
Well, here's the problem with it, okay? And Dodger Stadium is another just, I don't understand why it works this way or how it's working this way. But, so if you get up to go to the restroom in Dodger Stadium or to go to buy a hot dog or a beer or whatever it happens to be, right? Anytime you are not in your seat, you have to be wearing a mask. But they are not social distancing in their seats. Which means the dude that's sneezing 6 fucking rows back is still spraying the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, if you're standing in line next to someone, which I'm sorry, I don't let anyone get as close to me as the fucking seats in Dodger Stadium when I'm standing in a line.
I'll dumb this down even further, and this is the shit I was saying from the very fucking beginning. It's like, cool. So, I'm not speaking to you specifically.
God, I hope not, although, you know.
To a general person. I'm like, dude, so you're going to be like all about the fucking mask and all about the fucking vaccines. Cool. Were you the same person that as soon as you walked into a restaurant, you beelined it for the fucking bathroom to wash your hands or carry a bottle of sanitizer with you? Why am I asking that question? Because how did you open the fucking door with your hand that you're going to use to eat food with that a million other people have already touched? Same thing with Starbucks. Same thing with just about fucking everything, or the gas station pump. All right, I carry a bottle of sanitizer in my car for that very fucking reason. Why? Because people are dirty. All right.
You know, actually, for the first, when we knew nothing about COVID, right? And my mom was still out in the area, and she had just been diagnosed with breast cancer and a bunch of other things. When I got out to go to like pump gas, I actually put on gloves and then threw the gloves away because we knew nothing about the whole thing. So I was wearing a mask. I had gloves on whenever I would pump gas. Basically, whenever I went to any place that was, you know, a very public place, or they had their bottle of hand sanitizer, whatever it was. And I made sure that any time that something like that came up, I was taking those precautions, not for myself. I mean, fuck, I don't care. I'll take 2 weeks off of work. I'll play video games. I'll fucking stream. I'll catch up on every Netflix show that I haven't watched. It makes no difference to me because, one, my job, more so than a lot of other things, like if you want to say essential workers, like grocery store workers and everything else, very honestly, and they've done it before with strikes and everything else, you can drop down those people to a skeleton crew in multiple stores and still have things running. Do the lines get a little bit longer? Yes. Are they still up and running? Yes. But
some places got more efficient with having lines, and that's the one plus I'll give the whole quarantine or COVID or whatever thing. But again, it's the thing I was telling people before. No one ever thought to do these things before fucking COVID, so why are you worried about it now? And the opposite of you is, I don't give a fuck about anybody else. I'm gonna catch someone's dirty fucking disease, by, using a gas pump or opening a door handle. Yeah, I'm gonna have sanitizer in my car. Why? Because people are gross. All right, but that's the common sense shit. And so when you throw in this whole mask mandate thing, and you have redundancies like you were saying with Dodger Stadium, or just about any other fucking situation, you're really not stopping anything. And I'm not going to say COVID is a harmless thing because clearly, it's been a cause of death for X number of people. But again, a lot of these other people also had other ailments where even the fucking pneumonia would take them out.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to get into a debate with someone on whether or not COVID's a real fucking thing. Clearly it is. But as far as a mask mandate thing, as fucked up as it is, I have told several people, I'm like, look, when it comes to an establishment, it's up to them. If they want to enforce it, I'll respect that. Why? Because I'm a guest in that house. And I shouldn't be the reason they get fined.
Well,
but then LA sheriff came out with a statement saying, yep, cool, we're not going to enforce it.
And I was happy to hear that. And the thing is, they're not the first ones to say it either.
No.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my windows all lined up again.
That's fine. But yeah, I saw that statement. I'm like, I'm waiting for Ventura County to say something too. Because for someone to call 911 on a fucking person not wearing a mask, someone should like monitor that call and clip it or something.
Okay, so, but there is another side to that, and that was at the very beginning of it. There were people trying to get, like, social media clout and whatever it was. And there was this woman that walked into, like, a Ralph's or whatever it was and started coughing all over the produce. Now, we're talking March, we're talking April, we're talking the first, like, month and a half of this thing.
Where it was super sensitive.
And she was hit with federal terrorism charges.
Yep.
And then fined $150,000 and all this other stuff. I'm like, good. Fuck that person.
Yeah, because COVID aside, that person should still get the same fucking charges. Bioterrorism. All right. If you actually have ailments that to someone like us would be nothing, but to elderly people would be fucking everything. And guess who shops at a grocery store? Fucking elderly.
Yep.
So it's not survival of the asshole, it's survival of the fittest.
That brings me up to another thing that I really wish that our society would allow for Darwinism to take over.
Sometimes.
Like, I'm sorry, but there should not have to be a warning label on a toaster that says "Do not use in bathtub." Okay?
Oh, good God.
There should not have to be a warning label on Preparation H that says "Do not take orally." Like,
this is where actually Joe would come in handy with the because I know what he'd say. He'd talk about his time in Germany, and Germany, according to him, he's like, Germany does their laws the way they should be, and one of them is when you go and visit a castle, and let's say it's got like a 50-foot fucking drop, like where a stained glass window should be, and you can walk right up to it, blah blah blah, and you look down and it's like 50-60 feet down. If you fall, you're probably going to get hurt and or die.
Yeah.
All right. There are no guard railings. There's nothing to protect you. If you've seen any video footage of staircases in other countries, most of the time they don't have a fucking handrail.
Yep.
All right. Why is that? Because there's the concept of people are stupid. Yes, I understand that. So that hence warrants the need for a handrail or whatever. But at the same time, you can come up with a law that says if you're that stupid enough to get that close to the edge and fall, then that's on you, dude.
What is it? Is it Yosemite? I think it's Yosemite. Yosemite National Park, I believe is what it is. I'd have to go back and double check it. But I believe that the number one cause of death in Yosemite is falling from a high place, and majority of those are people that are taking selfies that fall off of cliffs because they are not looking where they're stepping.
Not surprised.
Neither am I. I wish I could be surprised.
And the American logic in that is come up with handrails or guide bars or something to keep people from falling off. But you go back to the root cause of issue, or what the court would call proximate cause of damage. What was the proximate cause of damage? Was it them taking the selfie? Maybe. Let's look a little deeper. What distracted them from fucking, placing their footing correctly or whatever? Not looking at their fucking feet.
Yeah, except that the U.S. will sue for anything. So, yeah. I mean, Darren, if I end up getting hit by a car right now because you end the podcast early, then guess what? I'm going to sue you. Because if you hadn't ended the podcast, then I wouldn't have gotten in my car and I wouldn't have gotten killed. I guess I couldn't sue you if I was dead. Well, so that totally puts a hole in that. But no, yeah.
But that's where I love my, it was my legal environment and business teacher, and she was also my business ethics teacher. She was a Juris Doctorate in 2 countries, England and the United States. Fucking smart woman. She would play devil's advocate on you on anything. If you disliked a Kit Kat bar, she would be on both the side of the argument that supports you and the side of the argument that says you should eat more Kit Kats because they're fucking healthy and this is why. So... She was that good. And she talked about that. And one of them was the McDonald's case, the elderly woman with the hot coffee. And it clearly said hot on the label. She did not put it in a cup holder. She put it between her legs. And it was a styrofoam cup with a plastic lid. As we all know, that completely fell off. And it burned her to the bone. And you start looking at what the proximate cause of damage was. Was it negligence on her part for not putting it in the proper holder? Was it McDonald's fault for not having enough labels or protection or anything? As it turns out, I believe she won that case because there was no clear definition on what was considered hot as a temperature. And when they came up with the consensus of what was defined as hot, McDonald's had exceeded it fucking tenfold.
To be fair, McDonald's coffee was super, super fucking hot. Like, I'm surprised it was even put in a styrofoam cup. And I'm pretty sure that we've all gotten cancer from the shit that's melted off from those cups, okay?
I never had McDonald's coffee, so I can't attest to that.
It's actually not bad. It's because it was nice and hot. Like, the best thing about McDonald's coffee was that you could actually take it, pour it into a larger container with some milk or some like chocolate. Like, I made a bunch of like chocolate lattes or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like mocha chocolate, whatever. I basically put like a hot chocolate packet into the whole thing with a little bit of milk, and it was great. And we would do this when we would go like fishing early in the mornings up in like the Mammoth area and stuff like that. Like, you want your shit to be scalding hot and like burning through the plastic because it makes a really nice cheap hand warmer.
McDonald's had always like just made me feel like shit. So I think in my early teens I stopped like eating it or, you know, even suggesting it. However, I did make exceptions for breakfast because their sausage McMuffins are fucking good. It's just, again, you feel like shit when you eat them. Even one, I will feel like shit. Jack in the Box's breakfast sandwiches, not at all. I feel fine.
Okay, so the sausage ones, depending on which one I go to, because they use like a different kind of croissant depending on which Jack in the Box you go to. Some of them are like light and fluffy croissants. Other ones are almost burnt and almost just... I don't even know how to really describe it, but they're almost like flattened and like burnt a little bit. And it just... I don't know, like when I eat those for some reason, like it gives me... It like fucks with my stomach. But if I have them... the ham and bacon one, no issues ever. And I bring this up because that is actually one of the places that I normally eat breakfast at, because I have one right around the corner from my office. And
the extreme sausage sandwich is really good, and that uses a brioche bun, and that's a win every time.
See, I get the supreme sausage croissant.
I've never been a big fan of croissants.
See, and that's what I'm saying, is it depends on which place you get it from, whether the croissant is good or the croissant is trash.
For me, in general, just croissants, I just never really gave a shit about. But yeah, so that was that case where she played both sides, where it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to challenge your thought process on that before I tell you what the actual end result was. And yeah, even then we had discussions on, well, if there was no clear defined knowledge or consensus on what was too hot or what was just like, you know, the Goldilocks complex, what was just right, then how is it that McDonald's coffee was too hot? There is no benchmark for it.
Okay.
And that's how fucking smart she was. So McDonald's, it quintessentially should have been let off the hook. But it doesn't mean that they were wrong. So,
and the whole thing is that I'm guessing that they ended up settling that whole thing out of court to where McDonald's was never technically wrong. They just gave her a bunch of money and said, shut the fuck up.
She either won it or she either won that case, or you're correct, they settled out of court. And usually what happens when you're settling out of court, you're signing a non-disclosure agreement in which you're not going to say anything bad about the company, blah, 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 in exchange for this lump sum. And it's usually going to be in a significantly lesser amount than, you know, something like punitive damages, but it's going to be hush money.
And like I said, it probably was hush money, because I can't imagine McDonald's ever actually claiming or ever taking blame for anything. I mean, how many times playing in that ball pit and shit like that did you end up with fucking like Indian burns or whatever from
the flu?
Okay, those things always just smelled like piss and vomit.
Yep.
And I used to go rolling around in them like, hey, look at this, a French fry falls on it, whatever, you pick it up, you eat it, you keep going.
See, that should be a meme. It's like if you survive the ball pit as a kid, you will survive COVID.
No, that's not true because a lot of people that survived the ball pit have died.
Really?
Well,
To what way?
well, if you just look at the ages where the ball pit was really a thing, like we were the end of ball pit.
Way to ruin my joke.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck your joke over, but like we were technically the end of all of that kind of stuff, right? Because they started redoing all of those things in what, like the late 90s?
What, the ball pits?
Just that entire thing, like the entire toy, like the entire just the area. They started putting in that like foam padding for like the outside of it.
The ball. I don't know if McDonald's ever explicitly had ball pits, but
They did.
I think some of them did. The one in Simi on Tapo didn't.
No.
They had like a outdoorsy area, but there were a couple that did. They replaced them with more gymnasium, more like things.
Yes. With like the rubberized floor that had more of a bounce to it. And the only reason that I remember when they changed things is because, and guys, don't try this, I really don't care anymore. But if you hurt yourself, whatever.
I like how you're gonna throw out the don't try this at home disclaimer, but then you're like, you know what, fuck it, y'all are stupid, you're gonna do it anyway.
Exactly. So we used to take the trays and go up to the top of the slides because of the lack of friction. You're laughing because you've done this shit. And then you sit on it and you get fucking speed. And the reason I remember when they changed the flooring and the ground and how it actually worked and everything is because when it was asphalt, you'd come out of that slide still sliding and you would stop when you hit those metal bars at the other side. Once that became a rubberized thing, you hit the bottom of that and then you rolled into those metal bars at the end of it. And go ahead.
I had different kinds of fun as a kid. I think as like I guess like a toddler or whatever, yeah, you know, we were playing shit like that. But once I hit my teens, no. I was doing ice blocks down hills. I was taking a friend's car and we were doing donuts in the school PT area. Yeah, I was a troublemaker. I mean, that wasn't me.
No, not at all.
No.
But those whole things, like, it's really weird that how I remember certain things when they've changed just because of the stupid shit that I did before and after the change. Another one.
It's because you know, a company like McDonald's, like how we were talking about earlier with like, you know, stupidity and frivolous lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
It's for McDonald's point of view, it's a CYA.
Mm-hmm.
So don't allow the opportunity for the infraction to happen. That's in a lot of ways. I respect McDonald's for thinking that way because you always have to think of ways that are cover your ass. So.
I don't know. It's just like I said. It was just really weird how I like the things that happen and how I remember things happening. Because we all remember things a little bit differently. Right. And I just happen to have these very particular things that I did where I'm like, okay, well, this changed and then this changed. I have no idea how long it was in between these changes. I just remember, because, I mean, if you think about it, how long would it take a place like McDonald's, or actually it was Carl's Jr. is the one that I did my stupid shit at, because it was over on the corner of LA and Yosemite, because that was the area that I lived in. That was like the closest fast food place for me. Technically, Jack in the Box is right there also, but they don't have a play place, so they only went there for the 99-cent tacos.
I don't think they ever did.
They didn't. But the Carl's Jr. did right next door to it. And so I remember it, but I mean, you would think, how long would it take to actually replace an entire play area? Like, how long would that place have to be shut down for? You know what I mean?
And that shit costs money.
Exactly. And it's, you know.
But you look at cost-benefit analysis. So if I spend $100,000 revamping this play area to make it safer and to prevent kids from doing stupid shit that would give parents an excuse to sue, how much money is that going to save me in terms of litigation down the road? So, you know, you have that kind of forward thinking. And that's where I come in.
Because you're a forward thinker, or because you're a parent that's going to sue people?
I'm a forward thinker. I hope to God I'm not a parent yet.
That you know of.
That I know of.
That was... So there was this one, I guess it was just a joke. And this guy was walking around with, this never actually happened, like I said, I just read it somewhere. Guy's walking around with a multicolored mohawk, right? And this old man staring at him. And just staring at him. And finally the kid walks up and it's like, do you have a problem, old man? And the old guy's like, no, I just fucked a peacock in Nam once and I was just wondering if you were my kid.
Great response. The reason why I,
Yes.
left the whole punk rock thing, is it was so. I remember one day, I think I was 18 or 19. I wasn't at the particular show, but I believe Zach was, and I think it was at the Cobalt, and one of the bands that we used to play with was, they came off as very gutter punk. If you want to know what gutter punk looks like, look it up. It's very San Francisco style. Anyway, someone found out that the lead singer lived in Bridle Path. Bridle Path in Simi is the Bel Air to Beverly Hills. So, in Simi. And when they found out that he lived in Bridle Path, I guess they chased him off the stage and down the street, something like that, looking to beat the shit out of him. And to me, I'm like, wait a minute. You're going to knock this dude's individuality on the basis of the fact that mommy probably bought him the guitar? Fuck you. So you're going to be all anti-establishment, but yet wear a uniform, like Doc Martens and Converse and plaid jeans that you probably bought from fucking Hot Topic. The only true ever punk rock person I ever knew was, I think you remember him, Billy Roberts.
Billy he was a trip.
He was awesome. He was a great guy to talk to. He was just a wonderful person. But anyway, all the clothes that he ever owned, he found at shows.
That's
and
a little weird.
Dude, it's super weird. But again, that's super like rock and roll / punk rock. That's awesome.
He survived COVID.
Oh, I know for a fact he did. And
the Discord crash number 2 is about that time. It's about that time. That's number 2. Oh, poor Darren. That's a really good picture, though. The one that froze on there is a really good picture because it's both of us just laughing. I don't know if someone could clip that picture for me. That would just be an awesome thing to just have. If anyone's in there that would able to go back and just get just the picture on Darren's stream. I guess you guys can't hear me.
They can hear that.
Okay. So. But yeah, if you guys can
clip that. They can't hear you.
Clip that picture.
Fuck off.
What? No, it was actually a good picture. It was both of us sitting there actually laughing. It was like the first time that you DC'd that you didn't look like you were having a stroke. I kind of want to like idolize it, like, solidify this moment.
But anyway, same dude, he wound up getting I think he went into cybersecurity, something like that.
Okay.
Smart dude. And so that's one of the reasons why I left the whole punk rock industry. Is just like, dude, you can't bash on being anti-conformity and anti-establishment and anti-government when you're wearing a fucking uniform.
It's there's a song, and I'm pretty sure that I've brought it up before. It's Adam and Andrew's Emo Kid.
Yeah.
And the first few lines is, I'm an emo kid, non-conforming as can be. You'd be non-conforming too if you look just like me.
Yeah.
And the
It's
entire song, like, guys, I will put it up on the Discord. I don't want to get this shit taken down or anything like that, but I will put it up on Discord. You guys should all check out the Adam and Andrew Evil Kids song because it's hilarious. And it's one of those things that is, it's like the highest form of satire, actually. Because if you were in that scene, you're like, yeah, wait, oh fuck, you're making fun of me. If you're not in that scene, you're like, who the fuck are Dashboard Confessionals?
Dashboard Confessional. Wow.
See?
Really taking it back. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break real quick.
At 45 minutes in?
No, it's actually an hour in.
Oh yeah, because you got on a little early, huh?
No, I got on time. You got on.
I was here.
You were. And
I
we were
was
catching your Minecraft shit.
I was just attacking a shark.
I will be right back.
Not a problem. I need food. Missa, are you bringing home food? I know you said that you were going to be late. But are you bringing home food? Frag, thank you for coming in here and hanging out with me in the, excuse me, in, the YouTube thing. Custom emojis. Yeah, I need to throw my emojis in here, don't I? At some point, I'm really gonna have to, sit down and start working on the YouTube thing. Why does it say day 6 of 31? That is not what I started my stream at. If I go to Streamlabs, I am pretty sure that my shit said day 21 of 31. Oh well, I'm gonna have to go back and just relabel this stuff. I mean, I really should be putting stuff down here and like the frickin' the describe or whatever it is for timestamps and whatever, but eventually I will. But YouTube right now is on the back burner completely. Like, it would be nice if I could hit the you know, the 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I'll probably try to push it a little bit more once the whole D3 thing starts, because I'm pretty sure I can get a couple of people to go in and click it for me, you know, once or twice. I say once or twice because people have random multiple accounts. What do I want? I don't know, actually. I don't, oh, I guess not Mexican, because we, like, just had that stuff last night. So anything that's not Mexican food. I could do Italian, I guess. We could do Asian. I'm always down for Asian. I almost got Thai food today, but then I figured it would be waiting too long, so I think I'm gonna grab Thai food from Thai Bowl after the, what's it called? After the dentist on Friday, and just bring it home. I don't know, Frag. Probably. More than likely. I mean, if you want, you can always just level with me. I will be taking, you know, 3 people to, I'm going to be leveling. Friday, when shit launches, I'll be leveling. And if you want to come in and you want to hang out and you want to level with me, you're more than welcome to once everything launches. Saturday, I do have a birthday I need to go to, so I will be gone for about 4.5, 5 hours on Saturday. But then, yeah. Well, girlfriend, yes. She's talking to me on Facebook. I have no idea how far behind this thing is. It does seem like it has quite a bit of a delay, though. I'm waiting for the hand gesture. Sleep is messed up. All right. Well, wow, this thing is way fucking behind. Like, YouTube is a solid 10 seconds behind. Am I going to talk? Did I really sit there silently that long? Sleep is messed up. All right. Well, wow, this thing is way fucking behind. So yeah, you'll actually see how far it is. Oh, I don't think it's 30. I don't think it's a solid 30 seconds, but yeah, it's probably like 7 to 10 seconds behind. And there's nothing I can really do about that either, which kind of sucks. By the way, how do you guys like this this autofocus thing that the camera does? Like, well, there it goes. Move over here. I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, Missa, if you missed it, I'm good with anything but Mexican. So Italian or Asian, I'm good with either of those. So we can do la pasta, we can do sushi, we can do
Still getting situated.
something else. I mean, I'm good with any of it, to be totally honest. I really like this whole like autofocus thing. It's just so cool. I do need to finally turn it out so that I'm a little more in center whenever I do my little turny things.
Oh shit! I just realized that there was no audio.
Oh, so people have just been watching my face move. So Frank, what it is it's actually the NVIDIA Broadcaster. It's the software that I use for like my background blur and all of the non-green screen type things that I have. That I have like the green screen things, but I don't actually have a green screen behind me. And so what it does is it zooms in on me a little bit and then moves around with me as just part of the program for the webcam and for the broadcasting software. It's pretty cool.
That's one of the things I still need to do is install that shit and dick around with it. It's like if I do that, then I'm gonna have to change a lot of my overlays and.
So here's the thing, it is RTX. So if you don't have an RTX card, it's not going to work for you.
I have an RTX.
Okay, well, yeah, as long as you have like a 20 series, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really cool. Like I enjoy being able to like move around a little bit and have the camera go. Just follows me.
Oh, you got the motion detection.
Yeah, it's the facial recognition stuff that just.
It's like silly robot. Try this. Oh. Yeah, we had a decent run in Warzone today. Finally.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, dude, so much content. I wound up clipping fucking 5 things. And remember how you were saying yesterday about, dude, I don't know how you get those fucking shots? Yeah, I got 2 videos worth of that. I don't know how I do it.
At some point, that's the thing I wanted to do. I think I need to make a video of me going, hey, get your airstrike ready. Ready? Go. And then I drop him.
We actually did that yesterday, I think it was.
Well, it was us last night.
Oh, was it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I'm like, get your airstrike ready. And then
As soon as you down him, it's already being called in.
Yeah. You're like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he downed? And I'm like, there. Pop. But yeah, Frag, if you get an RTX graphics card, you can actually do a lot of really cool shit with it. It's like you don't need a green screen. Now, all of this stuff would be a lot better with a green screen. And it would be nice, you know? Like, that's one of those things. I need to figure out how to set up a wish list. Like, put my Amazon wish list on Twitch. There's got to be some way of doing it. Darren, you have a mission.
What? I wasn't paying attention.
I give
an
up.
Amazon wish list of what?
Just how to get the Amazon wish list onto Twitch. Matt, how the fuck are you? I have not seen you in forever. Sorry, Facebook. I'm watching Facebook over here, and then I have you and YouTube here, and then my actual chats over, my actual, you know, videos over here with the camera.
Maybe I can split this up and set up your Facebook.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's cool if, you know, I can get more things on it, but yeah, like I said, this is just so that I can continue to do this, but yet still be able to do stuff with you and whatever else. The cool thing about it will probably be, oh wait, you can't podcast with me next Wednesday, huh?
Oh,
son of a bitch! That was going to be my first big trial to see how well it was going to work. I was going to stream, D3, the normal thing, for the first part, and then drop a raid on someone as I go into the podcast. Well, someone would be you because of podcast. So I guess I'm looking for a co-host for the next good couple of weeks. Who wants to co-host? Take anybody. I mean, look at who I have now. Apparently, I will take anybody.
Wow. I know go fuck yourself when I hear one.
That was absolutely a go fuck yourself. But Matt, I'm glad you're doing good, man. Yeah, we're just trying this out again. We're seeing if the YouTube Facebook thing works better for me. Because I'm not actually contractually obligated by YouTube and Facebook, I can do a lot more with them as far as this goes. Technically, I've signed a contract with Twitch, so Missa, what do you mean what happened to Darren?
I'm still here.
Yeah, he's still here. He hasn't gone anywhere. Well, he did go somewhere. He went on his break.
How come he can't podcast for the next few weeks? So long story short, my roommate who owns the house is having a whole bunch of family coming. If it was just one of them, I'd stay. But since it's the whole kit and caboodle, I'm like, fuck this. One bathroom for all these people? No. They can have my bed. I'll bail out for a month. Good opportunity for me to see the folks for a little bit.
Even though they're going to not be there either, because they're like...
So I have to house sit for a little bit anyway. I'm like, all right, I might as well do that.
I think you should be taking that as a fuck you. That you're like, hey guys, I'm gonna come home for a while, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go on vacation at that time.
Family hates me. But even my own mother, and I kind of think that President Trump kind of stole my thunder, because years ago my mom said, you'd make a great president, Darren, mainly because you're an asshole. Thanks, Mom. And then Trump got elected and stole my...
You know what? Let me see what I can do. I've been looking into trying to do that. Darren, do you have any idea how to flip a camera?
Should be within the settings of the camera application. What camera do you have?
A Nexigo, but I don't actually use the Nexigo at all.
So, like mine is Logitech, so it's weird. Nowadays, the plug and play software doesn't come with standalone installation software.
Right,
You're just able to plug in and start using it, which is cool. But in some cases, you need that. And for like the Logitech, for example, for the longest time, it was a slower frame rate. So when I installed the software, I was able to get the frame rate quality up to speed to like what it's supposed to be able to do. But I had to install the software to do it, and in that software, I had the ability to flip the camera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's my suggestion. Look around the internet for software for it to manage it.
So
you should be able to manage like the exposure, the field of view, et cetera, et cetera.
Camera focus. No, the thing is, I can do all of that in this other program, but I can't flip it. So I've got brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, sharpness, gamma, white balance, backlight comp, gain, color enable, power line frequency, anti-flicker, zoom, focus, exposure, aperture, pan, tilt, roll, low light level compensation.
See, what's weird is looking at your stream, you were on the same side as mine in Discord. You're on the right, I'm on the left.
Yeah.
But you have them, both of them, you have them flipped on their camera. So I want to suggest it might be in Discord, because in my camera, my like the borderline logo is backwards, but you're looking at me as if you were actually sitting in that position.
Here's the thing, your borderline thing for me is right.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. On mine, it's backwards, but your shirt, I can read it left to right.
All
so
right,
it might be in your Discord settings.
User setting, video and voice. Advanced voice. But even when I'm not using Discord, even when I'm just using this, it's always backwards.
Brag, continuation from YouTube. Shirt looks normal on Twitch, but is mirrored on YouTube. Yeah. So whatever you have is mirrored. For mine, my borderline logo should be backwards, because my camera is set to where if someone were actually sitting in that position looking at me, that's how the orientation is.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe it's more. Show non-video focus. No.
I don't have any mirroring going on.
Here's the whole thing, is that it's just me. And I don't know why, because when I look at I do it
hates you.
Fuck you. When I look at it through the NVIDIA broadcaster, everything is right. It's all forward. I can read it just fine, but then the second that it goes to Discord or it goes to Twitch or whatever it is, it then flips. Like, am I the right way on Darren's? Yeah, see, on Darren's, for some reason, I'm the right way.
What did I just say?
Why is your shit backwards on your stream?
I just said that! On mine, my borderline logo is backwards, but your shirt is left to right. And the reason why is on mine, my camera is orientated to where if someone were actually sitting in front of me, this is how it would appear to them.
So you would actually want to switch yours around. But my whole thing is, why is my shit good on yours but not on the other ones? We're broadcasting the same fucking thing!
Because it hates you. Like, Activision hates me. Discord and whatever your camera company's shit is.
Okay, Matt says I should turn it upside down. All right, let me try that.
God, that'd be so hilarious.
So I don't think this is working, guys.
No. It was a novel attempt, though.
I mean, I can do a little bit of the stream like this if you want. Switched audio to Twitch to avoid delay. Oh, okay. No, Matt, is this better for you, or is this not working? Oops. It's not working for me. My arm's getting tired because I'm a fat body that doesn't do anything anymore.
I just got done with my walk today. Oh, so yeah, I was going to bring that shit up too. Air Force, PT standards. So I was a bodybuilder, all right? active in the gym, heavy set weights, but other than basic training, I couldn't run worth a damn. Right. So if I'm chasing somebody, a full quarter-mile sprint, if you can outrun me on that, I'll just say, you know what, we'll settle this shit another day. All right. But if I can catch you, I'm gonna fuck you up. But I always thought PT tests, no matter what branch, should be aligned in a realistic situation. Yes, it doesn't matter what branch you're in, and it doesn't matter what job you have. You are first and foremost military.
Okay.
You're first and foremost national defense. You need to be able to handle a gun. You need to be able to handle combat. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
All right. Doesn't matter what job you are. Doesn't matter what branch. Yes, I understand that certain branches are tailor made towards certain things. Air Force is not a boot. Even though we have 3 jobs that are boots on ground, we are not a boots on ground branch. So I get that. The PT tests, in my opinion, have never been a measurement of what someone can do, because you take a 150-pound kid who can smoke the PT test, get 90s and 100s every year, strap 100 pounds of fucking pack on him. He's not going to be able to pick up a guy like me in, if I go down and, shit's getting real. I'm a dead man.
That was the conversation that we've actually had about females in special ops.
That's not what I'm getting to.
No, I get that, but that's one of the big things. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 230 pounds. Missa is not dragging my ass, 300 meters.
Right. So the Air Force comes out with new PT standards. I just read up on this a few days ago.
Okay.
And you would think that they would follow the Army's pattern, since the Air Force is a spawn of the Army.
I thought they were just a spawn of Satan.
You would think that they would follow in their pattern, where they would make it AFSE or MOS based, or something to that extent, or have a series of things that wasn't just push-ups and sit-ups. Push-ups and sit-ups I could smoke. I could do 60 in a minute on each. All right, not a problem, and that's max for points.
Okay.
All right. When it came to the run, that was my biggest Achilles heel, and I at least needed a 14-minute mile-and-a-half run just to score points. If you didn't score points, then you failed the whole thing. And just because you score points doesn't mean you pass. I think I needed a 13, 15, something like that, to actually pass with everything else that I had. Reading the new Air Force thing, first off, they got rid of the waist measurement, which is justifiably done. The waist measurement doesn't mean shit. If you were over 39 inches, you were an automatic fail. You didn't even test. All right.
So it's weird, because the only time that we ever had to bust out the tape measure to measure waist is if you were overweight. Okay,
and that might be sensible, but the definition of overweight is a little cumbersome, because you have someone that's, if you have someone that's 5 foot, 200 pounds, and that's your only description, what if they were 200 pounds of lean fucking mass that could still do the PT test?
They couldn't run for shit if they were 5 foot at 200 pounds.
Not true.
Their legs would be stumps.
I've known someone that was heavier than me and taller than me that could still pass the PT test.
No, taller than you and heavier, that's fine. But 5 foot, 200 pounds, you're a fucking stump.
Even so. There have been linebackers that were in the Air Force. These are people that are fucking shredded, that by definition, by height and weight, are overweight.
Yep.
But they're not. They're just fucking shredded. Yep. But they also fail the waist measurement side, because no matter, it's like, once you develop enough ab muscle, it'll start protruding. All right. And it's just fucking like armadillo armor.
And that's what I've been telling myself for years, is that it's just abs protruding.
That's a different kind of six pack, dude.
No, this is a keg. To you, it's a six pack. To me, it's a support group.
So they got rid of the waist measurement, which is justifiable. Absolutely get rid of the waist measurement. But just getting rid of that alone, me maxing out on push-ups and sit-ups, I'm already, even at a 14-minute mile-and-a-half run, I'm in the 90 club. And you need a 75 to pass, a 90 for excellent. But it gets better. The walk portion of a PT test was originally for those on a waiver.
Yep.
Right? If you're on a waiver, you can go ahead and throw up a point. For those playing the home game, if you, in the Air Force, if you were on a medical waiver for whatever reason, like you had an injury, then you can opt for the walk, which is a 1 mile walk that you had to do with a certain amount of time. Now they made it a option. Instead of doing the 1.5 miles altogether without a waiver, you could do the walk instead. So I looked at the requirements for it. It's like a 1601 in my age group for a 1 mile walk. I do that in 15 minutes, 15 seconds going uphill. I do that now. I've been doing that for years.
Do you know what's weird? So in the Army, we also have a walk. Mm-hmm. Okay. Except that our walk is 2 miles, I think.
Okay.
And we have 23.5 minutes.
That's pretty fucking brutal.
The walk is more brutal than the run is by all standards. And the only thing more brutal than the walk is
it broken down by age group?
Yes.
Okay, so that might make a difference.
Dude, it is brutal.
11.5 minutes per fucking mile. That's pretty bad. Like 14 minutes, okay, that might be reasonable. But
so
I'm doing 15 minutes going uphill. And yeah, I'm sweating, but I'm not dying.
So the only thing more brutal than the walk is the swim. The swim
the swim I can do. I live in the water.
Oh, dude, the swim I think is, I want to say 800 meters. And if you ever touch the bottom of the pool, you automatically fail.
I've heard that. And I think one lap is 100 meters. If I'm not mistaken.
So it depends on which pool is how much easier or harder it is. Because if you have a 25-meter pool, yeah, you're doing a shit ton more laps, but you get that push off every 25 meters.
Yep.
If you have a 50-meter pool, well, that hurts a whole lot more.
And see, I'm perfectly fine in the pool. I could swim all the live long day.
The easiest thing is actually the bike ride.
Yeah, we don't have that option. So, and there's talk of that where they want to allow rowing as a substitute, swimming as a substitute, the bike riding as a substitute. The reason why they don't is not all Air Force bases have all of those options. Well, it's like, motherfucker, just make it allowable, and if they have the option, they can take it.
Well, no. Okay, so the whole even if the base didn't have a pool, you would then be set like the reserve center. A reserve center is not going to have a pool, just like a National Guard center is not going to have a pool. And so what you would do is you would set up something at like the local Y or whatever it happens to be. You'd go down there and they'd be like, all right, this is when we're doing it. This is the day we're doing it. They would set something up, stay in your lane, go.
They could do that. Yeah, they could do that. And they're just like, no, not all bases have it. So, but it just pissed me off because I got out 2 years ago. And one of the reasons why I got out is because I didn't meet the goal of wanting to commission. That's a whole separate discussion. Even if I had passed the PT test, I still wouldn't have commissioned, and it's a political reason why. Not a political reason, but it kind of is.
It's always politics. Look, man, you were going into brass. No matter what you did, it was going to be political because that is what you were putting yourself in, is a political position.
Okay, maybe I should digress on it. So the 2 times that I applied and got selected commission as an officer, both times it was announced to the base that I was selected for this position as a second lieutenant without going into the crazy guard shit.
Butterbar.
What's that?
Butterbar.
Yeah. By the time I got out, I should have been a captain. But both times it was announced to the base that I was selected, and both times I was told by the person managing the roster, I forget what they're called, that the positions didn't exist. And the second time, there were like 6 people that got selected, myself included. 4 of them had commissioned. Me and another person were basically applying to double stacked positions that they couldn't commission. And this is already advertised throughout the base that it was happening. And so I had to sit there and explain to people like a fucking dumbass, well, I guess I'm not getting commission now. Oh, why is that? I thought you were supposed to be a butter bar by now. And I'm like, yeah, I should have. The other reason is even if I had put on staff, which I was eligible to do so, but my commander did not do it. I was already a GS11, which is the only GS12 an enlisted could get is a Comanche. That wasn't happening. GS11 I had already attained, and so I really had no interest in staying in the enlisted ranks. So I'm like, well, if I'm not even going to get E5, then there's no sense. And now they come out with this fucking PT test, and I'm like, motherfuckers, you. Second way, I could have been fucking promoted.
So the only reason
sent to fucking OTS.
The only reason I was never promoted is because of my injury. Like I knew all of the people in all the right places. Fuck, Matt, a guy that was in here with me, and he's on Facebook right now. He was in the unit with me, and like one of the guys I went to basic training with is about to get his 7. And we were of the same rank, and I was already promotable when he got to the unit. I just never got it because of the injury. So I should have been a 5 when he was still a 4 when he got to the unit. He's now going to be a 7.
I know people that were 4s at the time I got there, and they're now 7s.
So funny. There was a couple of people that when I got there, and I couldn't really do a whole lot, so I became the new soldier liaison, because I knew everybody and no one really minded if I like walked into like motor pool or supply or whatever it was. I would go like just hang out with them, and on really good terms with like the first sergeant, the commander, whatever. So I'd be like, hey, hey Top, this is the new person. They just got here. Any words of wisdom, or do you just want to scare the shit out of them? Whatever you want to do, here's your chance. And there's a couple of people that had their 6s before I got out. When they came in, I was already a 4. They were an E1. And then they had a 6 by the time I got out. And I'm just like, fuck this game. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And it finally boiled down to that when I walked up to the first sergeant, finally, and I'm just like, I looked at him like, you know what? I'm done playing this game. I want out. And he's like, I've never heard you. I've heard you joke. I've never heard you actually say that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. So I'm not showing up to drill anymore, just giving you a heads up, and my paperwork will eventually reach me. Sure enough, within like 3 to 6 months, I'm out with a medical discharge. So it was.
I finished all 72 of my drills. I actually, for a little bit, I thought about going back in and be like, fucking at least make E5, get my I actually wouldn't get my GS11 back. That's the only downer. So
would you even be able to keep your rank going back in?
Rank they can't take away from you unless you've earned the right for them to take it away.
Oh yeah,
actually there is an exception, and it's only in the guard. So like comptroller flight where I was a small enough office that it didn't warrant the need for a chief. All right,
the chief is what, a 7?
A 9.
Oh, okay.
It didn't warrant the need for a 9. The highest you can make in that office was an 8. In order to make anything above a 5 in the guard, you have to have what's active guard reserve.
Okay.
All right. That active guard reserve order is going to come with a rank. All right, that you can cap out at. So the guy, one of my buddies, who I was actually talking to today, him and I went to basic training together. We were in the same flight and basic training. We went to the same tech school. We were in the same job, and we were in the same office. We were in it through and through, and that never fucking happens. So he wound up applying for my position that they were merging with something else the last year I was there, and he got it, and that had a master sergeant slot, which is an E7. And I kept telling him, like, dude, if you stick it out, you could be the next E8 in this office. if you stick it out long enough. But our office doesn't wear anything higher than a 9. So let's say you wanted to make a 9, you'd have to go to a base that had a 9, a 9 slot. But let's say you were already a 9 and you came to our office as the superintendent, you would actually have to lose a stripe to take it. That's the only other exception. Other than that, you have to earn the right to take the away. And that's even if you separate and decide to come back in.
So if you were an 8, got out and went back in, they would just be like, okay, well, here you go.
Well, that depends. So if the only 8 in my office was superintendent, so if that position's already filled, you'd have to find another spot that has an 8, which there's not. And if there's no other spot available, then they just wouldn't even take you.
Got it.
But if there was a spot available that was a 7 or a 6, then you'd have to lose the stripes.
Mrs. Home.
Oh, here comes the mute button.
Yep. Muting. I'm waiting until they actually start barking. They're like little barks in the background right now. Little tiny barks. So Dan,
yeah, so the
other
people
night.
bounce.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. My thing is totally different subject. So go ahead and finish what you were gonna say.
But yeah, in the guard, everybody bounces around a lot, so that way they can make range. So.
Were you in the stream when, were you on when I was playing I Am Bread?
No, I might have been lurking because I tend to do that.
All right, because there it is. We're back.
Even Missy even said in your YouTube chat, it's like home. So you had the fair warning.
Fucking dogs. But anyway, yeah. So I Am Bread is that thing I was kind of telling you about. You like, oh, it's like the goat game, but it's not. It is.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about it.
It's. Frag, were you there for it? I know Missa was, and she's like, I can't watch this anymore. It's insane. So basically, you're this little piece of bread, and you have 4 buttons that control each of the corners, and then your mouse. And so whatever corner you're pressing on is what sticks. So let's say that here's the bread, this corner up here is sticking. You would then hit forward, and then it would flop over, like from this corner over here, up and over the top to it. And so you get it to like flop all over and over again from like over, you start off on the table, and then you got to like go to a chair, to a countertop, to like across the front of a refrigerator, like on the edge of a sink. You don't want to get wet because you still want edibility. And then you finally get over to the toaster. You throw yourself in the toaster, and then you become toast. And that is the entire premise of the game, is that you just want to become toast. And it was just a lot of fun. I quit and switched games? What do you mean I quit and switched games? I thought I played that for most of the evening. Yep, crash number 3. See, it's a smug look this time. It's not a, it's not that smile. That was a good smile. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out why my shit flips around for Darren on his stream, but not for me. Maybe it's a Streamlabs thing.
What might be?
The flip.
The crashing?
No, the flip.
Or the flip. I don't think so, because I'm waiting for ears to come back in.
I mean, I can hear you.
I know, I'm just waiting for the camera to load back in so I can see.
I mean, your stream can see everything.
It's got to be an individual camera. It's got to be an individual thing, because on your streams, the lettering on my shirt is correct, but I'm on the same side as mine.
Well, thank you, Missa. The whole thing is that your thing is completely flipped from what I'm seeing. And so if I could get it to do what your thing is showing, because like I am broadcasting identically what I'm seeing in Discord. You are apparently broadcasting backwards from what you're seeing in Discord.
No, mine is exactly the same.
You're
Would
okay.
you like to see? Would you like to see?
What I'm saying is like everything that I have is identical.
So here you go.
Go watch. Okay, see, it's funny because my shit is the right way for you on your Discord. It is backwards in everything other than your Discord. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this shit out.
Yeah. I think it's just your individual camera, because my lettering on yours is right. But the lettering on your shirt is backwards. So that tells me that technically on your end, my camera is flipped. All right? Because the lettering should be backwards unless you tell the camera to flip.
See, I just don't know. And the reason I'm just saying I have no idea is because what I see on Discord is literally what I'm broadcasting on everything.
Frag's like, this is so weird.
I don't get it. But
You're not wrong, man.
With that being said, Missa is home. I am actually going to call it a little early tonight because I'm actually hungry.
Hi, Missa.
I think Darren wants to talk to you, Missa.
Hi, Missa. I didn't want to talk to her, but all right. Hi, Missa. She's not saying anything.
Oh, I muted it by accident when I pulled it up there.
You muted the mic. Hello, hi.
What a jerk.
Oh, okay. I gotta...
He said, what a jerk.
Oops.
Ah! No, don't look at me.
We gotta look at Missa. Missa, you're in the picture now. You just...
I know. That's why I'm doing this.
Oh, here's a fun way to...
Okay.
So here's a fun way to fuck with that robot of your camera. So, Missa, take like 3 steps to the right. Let's see if the camera follows. It's confused. It's like, what do I follow?
Are you trying to get it to follow you?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, no, it's following
it
me.
moved.
It's following me right now.
I know, but that's why it's funny,
I'll
because
just-
I moved and then it didn't move and then it did and then...
I'll recline more. Hold on.
And I like how Doc's...
Oh my god!
I vanished.
Now it's definitely following me.
Yeah, now it's following you.
Yeah, there I am.
I like how for a second Doc was like Kilroy. It's just like...
Yeah, well now he's completely like flat. Look at it. Hello.
Can you like push him down a little bit to where he just like falls out of the chair?
I think he might hurt me.
What?
No, he wouldn't. He's like, should I just... If he asked if I could just push you down a little bit so that you fall out of the chair.
This thing has a really heavy base. Like...
Yeah, like actually the chair is really good. So I mean, it was like what, a $400 chair, right, or something like that. So.
Damn.
It's Secret Lab.
I got like a $80.
I got Missa one too. She likes
an
it.
Office Depot.
He has an $80 Office Depot chair. I used to have one of those, and then like within the first year, the like the leather or whatever started peeling off. It was great.
So yeah, you have some pleather ones. I think
Turn the kitchen light off.
Yeah, this one's starting to wear.
Yeah, mine literally just like the arms. I would just pull pieces off, like it would just flake.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Like the chair had eczema or something.
Yeah.
Was about to say.
Rid of the shine behind you.
Sounds like Secret Lab.
Yeah. It is Secret Lab, and I have one too, and it's great. The problem is that Doc sits in his when he's like wet and naked, and so the bottom has started to like wear down a lot.
Thanks for the visual.
Yeah, it's great. Mine, I always put a towel on mine so that when my wet hair is there, it's like it's dry. But yeah, nice and natural over here some days. And now he's reclined so that his feet are on the desk.
I do that all the time.
The camera down if you want to.
Yeah, I can put the camera down. How do I do that like this?
Just pick it
Okay,
up.
that's a boob shot.
Oh, my stomach is
There we
showing.
go.
Your stomach is
There we go.
showing.
I'm in my natural habitat, my natural
Yeah.
I
environment.
wonder if I go down, it'll like.
No. It's...
Oh no, it's only saying.
a little bit.
It worked.
It is following you.
God, why are you like this?
It does work. Let's go down. There, now we're in this together.
You got a creepy ass camera, Rock.
Here, have a chair.
Like following you
You
everywhere.
can be
Yeah.
a little bit lower.
It is.
Hi, Nessa.
So yeah, this chair's amazing. It like goes, it reclines all the way down.
Yeah.
Damn. I actually.
And the microphone. You can
I don't even think Doc can hear me, but I actually
Control
hate
my foot.
reclining.
Darren
Wow.
says he actually hates reclining.
I hate it because like I already have back issues.
Oh.
So
I mean, in Call of Duty,
if
he's
it-
always laying on his dick. So I mean.
wow. Oh, check this out! I got this the other day at Target. Oh, it was a 2 for 1.
Target sells everything. Oh my god.
I know.
Is
yeah,
your chair
I
a
hate-
Titan?
Yes,
It is a Titan.
I have a Titan, and Missa has the Omega.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so like I already have a bad back as it is.
Yeah.
So the more I'm at a right angle on the desk, like I'm 100% about ergonomics. So as long as I am at a right angle on the desk and my hands are like this on the keyboard, we're good. The moment I start reclining, leaning back, that's when the back like starts spazzing.
So, have you thought about getting one of those keyboards that's like this? Like it curves? For your
Ergonomic
hands?
keyboard?
Yeah.
I don't know
I've
if you
tried
can
them.
see
I
it's
hate
kinda
them.
dark, but this is
Yeah.
the T.
Yeah, same with the mice too. I hate the ergonomic mice.
Yeah, those things are weird.
Yeah, super
Oh
weird.
yeah, you can kind of see the T.
Yeah, you can see the T. He's trying to show off his chair. You can't
Yeah,
see the bottom where it's all worn down.
Well, that's fine. Don't worry about where
Yeah.
my naked ass sits.
Don't sugarcoat it. He's trying to get sponsored.
Secret lab, please. It'll save us so much money.
It says Titan down here on the thing. And then Missa's, because it's for a smaller person, actually has like these little wings that come up on like the sides of it to hold her in place.
Hold her in place. Why does she like bounce around everywhere?
I just like can't stay still.
Huh?
No, but the pillow is too high up for my head. So it hits like
got
right
it.
here. So I always have to take the pillow off if I'm actually gonna like recline and put it here. But yeah, I've like slept in my chair.
They're really comfortable, actually. Like this pillow is amazing.
It's a nice chair, but yeah, he wants me to show the pillow now.
Oh, hold
It
on.
has like a secret lab, like I don't know, nobody can see
He
it. 'cause
just
it's
wants a
all-
sponsorship.
Okay, I got you. Hold
He's willing to sell his soul to, you know, get
And
a
me apparently because I'm the one holding it. This is rude.
You're like, Sneaker Labs, I even have the model.
Yeah, right. What model?
Are you a hand model, Missa?
A hand model? You just modeled my face with this.
This hand is your hand. That hand is my hand. Wait, that is your hand.
From California.
No, it's a thing from Friends. Joey meets his
Yeah, his
Why-
secret hand something.
hand twin.
Why
Hand
did
twin.
what? I've watched Friends all the way through once and thought, that's it for me. I'm done. I don't need to watch this ever again.
Yeah, the thing is
I
I've only watched them when Miss was watching them.
And you still remember that?
Well, that's just one of the episodes that I watched that I thought was funny.
That was the episode where they went to Vegas.
Hey, you do that, I'm gonna get pooped.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I've watched Friends several times, and there are some people that swear by that show. To some extent, yes, there's aspects of the show that's true.
Yeah. Bragg says, just to add on to the cheesy sponsorship, the pillow really is amazing. It is amazing. I do like the pillow. It has this nice like velvety suede outside thing going. And yeah.
I got this
And
lovely
wow, we
chair
can
from
actually do
Office
this.
Depot.
Office Depot sponsorship, please.
Office Depot sponsorship.
You can probably get a lot more interesting stuff from Office Depot.
Look, guys, I am all for getting a sponsorship by Monster or by Secret Lab. Fuck, Lays. I wouldn't mind a sponsorship. I am open.
Gatorade.
Haterade.
Yeah,
I
coming
love
from you,
Gatorade.
it's haterade.
Yeah, it is Haterade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Office Depot's gonna sponsor me because that's a company that needs money. I don't think they're willing to give it away.
Yeah. No kidding. I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised that they don't just go fully online.
I was a bit surprised too, but some of the things of Office Depot require like tangible touching and like I need to see the like IKEA. So this desk is a wraparound, like a corner wraparound, and then I have an extension over here.
Mhm.
All IKEA, and it's maybe a quarter of an inch thick. Super thin, a lot of leg room, very easy to place in any office setting, and you can also add on to it.
Yeah, because
like
they sell it in like sections.
yeah, they sell it in sections. Love this desk, and I've had this desk since like 2006 or 7,
wow.
something like that. Yeah,
Definitely
it
worth
stood.
it.
Yeah, it stood the test of time.
Yeah. Ricky got
but-
his desk like maybe when did you get this desk?
A couple months ago, after I started streaming.
Yeah. It's from some company in Canada, but we got it shipped to our house in all these big pieces, and they were like, and then we went to go put it together, and we're like, I think we're missing pieces. Sure enough, one of the bags that had all like the nails and shit in it, the screws, they were like, oh yeah, we accidentally gave you 2 of these, and you actually need 1 of these. So then he was very unhappy while we waited another 2 weeks for them to FedEx us the other bag of screws.
Oh, is this a double product placement? The Yeti caster.
Oh, it's Frag is saying it's all about product placement, like your microphone. So I turned around so you could actually see blue label.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Oh,
The
yeah,
blue label?
yeah, I turned around so you could actually see the label.
Oh.
I have to.
It's right
actually
underneath your
turn
it's right
it.
underneath your mute button, Darren. So you'd have to turn it about 90
Yeah.
degrees.
That's what I was saying. I would have to turn it. I think you and I have the same one too. It's just yours is
He thinks you guys
Silver.
have the same one. Just hit yours is silver and his is black.
Why's it got to be black, Darren? Racist.
wow. I'm the one that supports black microphones. Okay, you
I
support.
can't hear
silver
a damn
ones.
thing you're saying, by the way.
It's just like, why the fuck am I putting up with this?
No, as soon as he goes, why are you supporting something black? Every time anything black is worn, touched, purchased in this house, why does it have to be black? I'm like,
Or white.
God.
It could also be white, and it's like, why's it got to be white?
Okay, what other, like, black or white? That's like
Wow.
everything.
So here we see the Asian in her natural segregated type
First
of.
of all, I'm yellow, so calm down.
Wow.
I heard the wow.
I was about to say, how do you feel about Oreos? But you just went there.
I really just don't. That's the whole thing, is that it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
microphone works. His microphone
Exactly.
works.
Exactly. It all
That's
works.
it.
I actually
Oh,
have
hi.
thought about getting another microphone and another headset so that I could give Missa this microphone
I don't know what I would use it for.
podcast because I need a co-host for the next 4 weeks.
Okay, so I'll sit here and you sit in your chair.
No,
like
that doesn't work.
Why does
No,
it
that
work?
works. You just need
Yeah,
another
he
headset.
said it works. I just need another headset.
No, if we're doing this, there's no point. You could literally just sit here and we're just talking to one another like we are
Is
now.
that not what you were doing right now with your friend in a different room?
Hold on. First off, how dare you actually assume that we're friends? Secondly,
He's mad. He's like, what?
Anyway, you said you were getting the hangries? The
Yes.
hungries?
Yes, he is getting the hangries. He's opened a bag of chips.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll cut this short.
all right. See, Frag has a white
actually,
Yeti also.
He's a Yeti.
Wow. See, this is the only problem with this is that I have to like read multiple chats now.
Well, you can pop. I forget which one you can pop out by itself.
So-
maybe it's the YouTube one. I don't
So here's the thing: is that I could go to. I just wish that it was the other way around. Like I can do multi-stream on here for the YouTube thing, but not for Facebook. It only has my own comments for Facebook, which is really stupid.
Oh well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well, shall we sign
I-
off then, honey?
I don't know.
nobody online
I
to
guess let
raid.
me have my headset
He
back.
has nobody online to raid.
Well, let me have my headset back real quick.
Okay.
Jeebus. Ah, thank you, Missa.
Hit him. Oh, she can't hear me. Just.
What?
There, better.
He's like, I know you can't hear me, so I'm going to sign.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Do you got anybody to
That was my
raid?
toe you rolled over.
What is it?
You just rolled over my toe.
Is it okay?
It's still attached.
Whatever. They were already stubby before I hit them.
Your
Anyways.
heavy ass running him over doesn't help.
Hit him. Hit him.
I'm telling you, she's amazing. Oh, I gotta fix my.
Do you have anybody online to raid?
Let's see who to raid.
Let's go ahead and sign out of your chats.
Hey, Darren's on with 6 people. We can always raid him.
Thanks, man.
Got you, homie.
Oh, now you're homies.
Yeah. The fuck's up with that?
Not really. No, because I mean, yeah, not really.
We can just call it then.
All right, guys.
All right.
I'll be back on later tonight, more than likely, because I have no life. Other than that, I will talk to you guys then or tomorrow.